ever since they started retrading G-era support in terms of tournament PRs for the entire year of 2022, I've been wanting to do this video because, as we all know, Sazanda was the very first progenitor of this trend in 2022 and gave us silent V support that, a lot of the community actually appreciated for those that weren't playing award-winning decks like Steam Maidens. But I've delayed this video for over a year, and since Daivangasai is coming out and we're all gonna lose to Negro Bolt, I might as well just cover this video once and for all. Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Sid4 here. Today I'm back to talk about Victor, which I feel I've never done on this channel before. I could be wrong. So Victor is Machino Blau's favorite deck, and now I will stop talking. Today we have Fade of Off.
Yes.
Okay. So
that's all. Okay. Do note, of course, as seen on the stream, this is the completely wrong Victor, but you can play this Victor if you want.
There's a right Victor?
Yeah, there's a right Victor. It came out in 2014.
Oh. But
it gives you 2 XL.
No.
It's possible.
Alright, so for our grade 3s, we play 4 copies of Extreme Battle of Victor.
It's extreme with 2 X's.
2 X's, yes.
Yes, of course. Extreme.
Extreme Battle of Victor. What does he do?
He does not win the game. Okay, so on all seriousness, when placed on the Mega Circle, you look at the top 7 cards of your deck, you add 1 Extreme Battler, so not Extreme
Battler.
It's Extreme, so it's Extreme with 1 X. From the top 7, then you call it. So it's just a 3 plus 1 alongside the XL2, so it's a +2 when you ride him. So it's generally quite good. Then his second ability is basically it's a win more sort of card design, because his second skill is when he attacks, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, and choose one of your rear guards and stand it. If that rear guard has been stood 3 times this turn.
No. This one's 2 times. It's stood twice.
If the unit has been stood
two
twice,
times by card effect.
which means that it's attacking. Which means that when Victor stands it is performing its third action.
Yes.
It's performing its.
It's gonna perform its third action.
Yeah. Third action. Victor gains a drive.
Yep.
So he makes back for the fact that Nova Grappler, Nova Grappler as a class is always like, call whole field, oh my god, Blade Master.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's basically just to net back because it's +1 drive. And of course, +1 drive means you can check triggers more often. But don't worry, there's no over trigger in this format.
Yeah, but it's just nice that your boss not only pluses for you really hard, but it also gives you an additional V-stander built in. It's one of the weakest skills in Nova Grappler in terms of a V Nova boss, unless we talk about BZ80s, which are a completely different power of worms. But in order to really break it down, we need to see the rest of the Extreme Battler package to understand what the rest of the deck does and how it functions. Victor alone does not really tell you how the deck works.
Yes, it's just the enabler.
Yep. Our grade 2s, we play 4 copies of Sazanda, 4 copies of this is Sledge, 2 copies of Genocide Jack, 4 copies of White Hank, and 4 copies of Cake Typhoon.
Okay, so we get the Extreme Battlers out of the way first. So we have Extreme Battle Sazanda. So
Sazanda.
Sazanda is the new promo that came out for Victor.
You can't say new, it's been out for a year. You just procrastinated for a year.
It's still new.
Okay.
Then so it's two skills. Actually, his skills are actually quite similar to Victor himself. It's like when he's placed on the Vanguard Circle, you look at the top 5, you may choose 1 Extreme Battler from Extreme. So it's
with 1
X again, 1 X again. Extreme Battler from among them and call it the Vanguard Circle. Then his second skill is that when your rearguard is stood, if this unit is on the XL is on the XL additional rearguard circle, so basically like put him on the put him on the XL marker. Him and the unit that was stood both gain 5k.
Yep.
So Sazanda has always been a unit that is basically just you keep restanding him and he keeps getting power, but now he's not that selfish. He now spreads that power across both him and one other unit.
And he doesn't have to be the card that stood. So you can just keep him as a side beater. But the fact that he's able to, be on place on V to just straight away plus is quite impressive if you ask me.
Yes.
So moving on to our other Extreme Battler, that's gonna be of course Sledge. Sledge is the main beat stick for Victor and V, and it is one of the new toys that Victor has for premium. What does it do? When it stands by card effect, for the number of times it has stood, you can perform one of these actions. If this is his first time standing up, you can gain 10,000 power, as in this card. This is the second time you soul charge 1, which is nice because Victor forever needs soul. We used to play prison in premium Victor, it says a lot. Third time, it gains another 10,000 power, and when this unit attacks, your opponent cannot call Sentinels to the Guardian Circle. So yeah, it doesn't do anything by itself, but it's mainly just used as the conduit of how you stand and just start smashing your opponent.
And also,
into
like,
the
he's just a really, really fat beater.
Yeah, that's it. That's really
Because he gets 25k in total, and he also has guard restrict.
Yep.
Yes.
So if you want to talk about how you restand, you might want to go into the restanders, kick, and white hang. White hang is a G era card that's with V3. When placed on the Vanguard circle, no, not when placed. At the end of the bell that he attacks.
No, it's when his attack hits.
Oh, when
on
attack
Vanguard
hits,
circles,
so blast one,
draw a card.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Then once per turn on Vanguard circle, when he attacks, discard a card from your hand. You choose one of your Vanguards and stand it. So.
Oh, okay.
Like Cool Hang, like what White Hang did in G era, where it was the Ember Claw from Nova Grappler. He also is just a very easy and very generic restander for Nova Grappler. You just have to attack with him. You can throw one of your useless low shield cards from your hand. You can just use a rear guard. You can stand a rear guard to hopefully win the game from there.
Yeah. So he's just a free and easy.
His numbers are very small, but honestly, like you use him mainly as a conduit to let your bigger attackers
just for those that stand up.
Yeah. Speaking of letting those sleds stand, we have Kick Typhoon.
Yes.
So Kick Typhoon is also just yet another restander for this deck. And his first skill is that when he's placed on the Vanguard circle or an additional Vanguard circle, so he's competing with Sazanda in terms of where calling units that you want to call to excel, but all he does when he gets called to the excel is that he gives one of your units 5k until the end of turn.
Or if he's placed on Vanguard.
Yeah. So you can use him as your turn 2 right, or you can use him later on to boost up those stats so that he's a solo attacker on the very first attack, which is not bad, it's okay. Second skill is the reason why he's so good though, is that once per turn when he attacks, it's when he
when he attacks.
Yeah, it's just when he attacks.
If all of your
front row red
circles
circle are occupied, you choose one of your you cannot you choose one of your red guards and stand it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. So it rewards you for playing aggressively in Nova Grappler, which you should be because it's
Nova Grappler.
So, and then of course it just lets you restand for Color Blast 1 compared to White Hang, which is a discard one.
And the +5 is nice because if you restand the cards on the +5, it works.
Yeah.
Of course, moving on, we have Genocide Jet. I need to talk about this guy. VOR, during a turn, he gains 10,000 power, so it's a 19k attacker wherever he walks. But he can't stand by himself. He's very weak. And to stand him, you need to rest 2 of your rear guards. So, yeah, that's basically about it. You really just use him for either turn 2 early aggression as a 19k body, or if not, just later on, you can just call him out just for a one-time 19k attacker rear guard on the side. He's really just a 2-off because you really just don't use him that much. Resting any rear guards for him is really just such a great minus, but just for the fact that for a turn he's a huge attacker, it does help us.
I mean, he basically just acts as another copy of those, like a mini Dose Slash.
Yeah, it's just a mini Dose Slash.
And then with Sazanda, he can actually reach the same power as Dose Slash with the amount of standing that we do in this deck.
Yep. It's that one's more of a flex spot, really.
Yeah.
Moving on to our great ones, we play 3 copies of Gunpowder Gun, we play 4 copies of Screaming and Dancing Announcer Shout, and then we play 4 copies of
Extreme Battler Arashi. So once again, we go with the Extreme Battlers first. We go with Gunpowder Gun. Gunpowder Gun is honestly a very underrated like aggression tool, which is that if your Vanguard, I think it's
Victor. If
your Vanguard is a Victor. Your rear guard circle, when you attack, your Vanguard is a Victor. You so plus one, you choose one of your other rear guard, stand it, and he gains 5k.
Yep.
So he becomes a solo attacker.
13k.
And also he gets to stand one of your rear guard. So it's just
so
that you have more flexibility in terms of like what you draw, so that you're not tunneled into only the must have White Hang or the Kick Typhoon. You now have like 3 different units that stand one of your rear guards, so it's very, very flexible. You don't feel so stifled in playing this deck.
We only play 3 because really there's so much Extreme Battler tooling that you don't really need to play 4. And you do want to make sure you actually find Victor, which is why the Extreme Battler we played 4 is Arashid. Arashid, when placed on VOR from the hand, you basically look at the top 5 cards of your deck, add a grade 3 from under to your hand, and then you discard 1. Generic grade 3 searcher. It has to be from hand. The second skill is, as long as one of your rear guards has stood by a card effect this turn, he gains 5. Very simple, very cool. Arashid is a pioneer of the strike fodder based back in GBT01, so it's nice to see him have more kick-ass art as usual. And then we have, of course, Screaming and Dancing Announcer Shout. Screaming and Dancing Announcer Shout is a rearguard skill, basically. You just rest this card, look at the top card of your deck and your opponent's deck. Whoever has the highest grade is added to the hand, the lowest grade added to the soul. Now, we've talked about screen dancing announcer shout before, many times now. And many people don't like it because it could plus your opponent, right? But the good and bad things about shout in this deck are all beneficial to you. You need soul, you need cards in hand. Just play this guy, it's free. Moving on to our grade zeros, we play a copy of Bell Razor. We play, we play 8 crits. We play 4 draw PG, and then we play 4 Hugats. So yeah, let's break it down.
It's just, I mean, the fact that this deck restands so much but yet it has no crit pressure means that if when you attack, that if you're gonna have a unit that's gonna restand at least 3 to 4 times, it's better, it will be nice if if you will have some crit pressure, especially since Victor also gains strike +1, means you're more often than not gonna check at least 1 crit or 1 draw among them, which means that it's just even more power stacking.
Yep. We play Hugats because we want to protect ourselves, from not dying from early rush, because Victor is a very peace-reliant deck. And then, of course, Bell Razor is the best starter in Nova Grappler, and frankly the game. And that wraps up our Victor Sazanda deck profile. For a video that we've delayed for, I think, virtually a year, I'm still glad to say it actually strangely holds up. Like, I was really expecting to do this video and just realize, oh yeah, this deck is crap. But no, I've played this deck consistently throughout the entire year since Sazanda has been out. And even with all the new restrictions, everything in V, it still feels really nice, considering Premium is now hated by a lot of people in English because, oh yeah, it's a coin flip. Yeah, well, if you don't want to play coin flip, then play V, am I right? Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.
Bye bye.